All right, welcome everybody. Great to see you all. This most exciting day of the year for me and our staff, and that's to have all the players report back for camp. Our first practice tomorrow. We did have some of the young guys in yesterday, the newcomers, and had a little workout with them and started the process of incorporating them into our program. We have had a great summer. Our strength and conditioning coach Andy Ward has done a phenomenal job with these guys. Being around these guys and seeing the change in their attitude and their excitement and their enthusiasm to kick this off has been great. I think our guys, through the process of spring football, the academic semester through the spring, they performed very, very well. They took another step through summer. And now it's time for us to take one more step in fall camp. Anytime we go to fall camp, there's always obviously some goals. And that's, number one, is continue to define the standard, the expectations on which we are going to perform around here. And our guys have done a great job with that. Also, it's to create our depth, make sure that we understand everything that we're doing in all of our systems, offensively, defensively, and special teams. And one of the biggest things is come together as a family and understand the pride and tradition of Bulldog football. And so we couldn't be more excited to get started. Really pleased with our staff. Thought we did a great job through recruiting. There's a lot of newcomers that are here that we're excited to have on our team and in our program, and looking forward to what their contribution may be. And so just a lot of excitement right now. Can't wait to kick it off tomorrow. So with that, any questions?
We'll allow questions from the floor. Please use this mic and let me know who wants to ask the first question.
Let me say one more thing while you all are shy and not asking questions. It's my great honor today to announce that we're going to be retiring Derek Carr's jersey on September 2nd. It's an awesome thing. I don't think there's any better ambassador that we could ask for with Derek Carr. Obviously what he did on the football field, of conference championships, players of the year, numerous school records. Academic All-American, so he balanced it on and off the football field, which is always what we're looking for. Obviously, as he has gone on into the NFL, has done very special things. I feel that I have a extra personal gratification of this, because when David was here and he was 5 years old, he was out there, we were doing drops when he was 5 years old with his Nerf football. So it's awesome to see him this many years later having his jersey retired here and being such a great ambassador for our university and our football program. So that's going to take place on September 2nd. The game is at 7 o'clock, and I believe it's going to be at halftime. Is that correct, Matt? So the other great thing about it is it works in his schedule with the Raiders, that he's going to have a little bit of time off, and he's going to be able to be here and be present for our opener, which I'm sure is going to excite the fans as well as our team for sure.
And Coach, obviously that's something that will bring fans out and also honors great moments from the past. But what about the future? How big of an impact can that have on your current team and future teams, that you have a guy at the top of his game in that kind of spotlight with the richest deal in NFL history that's one of yours?
Well, anytime that, our guys go on and play at the next level, obviously Derek is the most current, probably the highest profile guy. I think kids can aspire to that, and to have Derek to come back here before our opener and have a chance to talk to the team, I'm sure our guys are going to be really fired up to have that opportunity to hear him speak. Derek always does a phenomenal job with that, of speaking to young men, and I'm sure that he will take it one step further with this team to let our guys know what it takes to get to that level. And Derek's journey to get there, he'd always been a student of the game. He's always had a passion for football, but not just that, what type of person he is, which is first and foremost of how we represent our families, our university, our teammates. Derek is absolutely a guy that we can take some mentorship from, and I'm sure our team is going to be really, really happy and excited to have him here.
Questions from the floor?
Coach, I know you've been watching the program from a distance even when you've been away, but now in here and now kind of ready for your first season, first fall camp, is there anything about maybe the state of the program that's surprised you, or maybe, coming off a 1-11 season, you look at it and say, you know what, we're in better shape, here than I thought?
Well, I don't even look at the 1-11 season, really. We don't spend any time talking about that. It's all about the future. It's all about our expectation, which is internal expectation. Obviously, you probably all saw that we're picked 6th in our division, and that's fine with us, because that's where we deserve to be until we prove people wrong. And so there's a lot of motivation there. We talked about it early when we first got here back in January, as far as what a 1-11 season does to you and why sometimes that happens, and really just to define what needs to change to improve that. And that's been our focus. It really has. And so I don't think the cupboard's bare by any stretch of the imagination here. I think there's talent here. I think there's awesome kids here who are willing to work, and they've done nothing but shown us that through spring and through their summer commitment. And so it's time to take one more step right now. And I'm really excited for them. I see a different look on their face. I see a different bounce in their step. I see a different energy. Obviously, that should happen after they're down and out, in January after a 1-11 season. But I'm excited about it, and I know they are. And so we're just going to work every single day to enjoy the process and make sure we work to attain what our goals are.
Question back here.
Jumping off of what you just said about the cupboard not being bare, how many freshmen do you anticipate playing this year and making an impact?
I have no idea. It depends. I think we have a quality class that came in, and so it's going to be competitive for everyone. I think our team understands that. When the newcomers came throughout the summer and participated in the summer program, I think they saw a little jump with guys that are hungry and guys that are talented. But I would not know that until we get into camp. And we compete every single day and see where they fall. I think for freshmen to play, they have to be mentally, physically, emotionally ready to play. And so that's what this next 29 practices is all about, is to make sure that they're prepared in all 3 of those areas.
How challenging is it to prepare for an opener against Incarnate Word, knowing that you have Alabama the next week?
Well, the only I've already brought that to our team's attention because I think it's a natural thing that anyone ever wants to talk about is Alabama. And so, I'm going to make sure that our team understands, first and foremost, it's our job to go out and play Incarnate Word and be successful there. And so we will make sure that we talk long and hard about that. And we're in no position to think that we're going to look past somebody and go to Alabama. Even though that's what the buzz is, that's what the fans talk about all the time is Alabama, Alabama, Alabama. Alabama will come quickly enough, but we have something to prove, and we need to make sure we're doing our job when we get to game 1 with Incarnate Word to make sure that we're reaching our potential. It's not so much about who we're playing, it's how we play. It's about who we are and how we go on the field each and every game and be prepared and execute.
You mentioned Derek Carr, and you talked about what that means to you personally and to the program. You've got 5 guys coming to camp tomorrow who want to be the next Derek Carr at some point in their career. What are you looking for early to show you who's a real contender and taking those snaps on September 2nd?
Well, the quarterback position is always key, obviously. Felt like Chasen had done a nice job in spring, and Jorge was behind him close, and Christian, was right there as well. So that's going to be very competitive. You always want your quarterback position to be a guy who's a field general, and it's not just about him. It's about putting his teammates in a position to be successful. There's a lot of things that go into that. Clock management, formations, huddle procedures, you name it. Game situations, on and on and on. Making great decisions, protecting the football, and being the field general. And so that's something that we've spent a lot of time talking about. I think Coach DeBoer has done a great job with these guys, but now it's time to take one more step. We're going to be a whole installation philosophy where they're going to get a lot thrown at them in the beginning. Then we'll go back, then we'll do it again, and then obviously we'll pare it down to game planning. But there's going to be a lot on them, and they're going to have to make sure they're making great decisions, making plays, and putting other people on the team in a position to be successful.
Do you have an early feel for what you're going to do splitting reps initially?
That will play out early on in camp. We'll do what our A reps are, which everyone will get equal amount of reps. And then as we move forward into camp, the 1s, 2s, and 3s, the 1s will get most of the reps, the 2s next, and then as we go, the 3s will diminish a little bit as far as that. But that won't be until like the second week of camp. We're going to give everyone an opportunity to show what they can do.
Anybody else?
Coach, kind of building on our conversation from Media Day where you said, Chasen will enter fall camp as a starter, but it'll still kind of be an open competition. Is someone going to have to kind of take the job away from him in a way, is that the way you're looking at it? Someone will really have to impress you?
No, I don't think it's like that. I think it's more ending spring. He earned the opportunity to take the first rep in training camp. It's very close. And so it's going to be competitive from day one, and it may go back and forth every single day in camp. If one guy performs one way, then Jorge may get the first reps the next day. So it's an ongoing process, and it's going to be very competitive. So no, there is not that huge gap there that says you are the guy and you have to lose the job. It's a situation where they have to perform each and every day, and then as we get closer to game time, the permanent starter will be announced at that point.
Coach, right here.
Yes.
So there's been a concentrated effort to really recruit the Valley this year. So how important has that been to your program to instill confidence in some of these kids, some of these homegrown kids, to get them to be a Bulldog?
Yeah, no, we've said from day one coming in here that was going to be our focus in recruiting, was to make sure that we saturate the Valley, and we've been working long and hard with that. I think all of our recruits this year so far that are committed to us are all California kids, quite a few of them from the Valley. And so our focus has paid off for us. I do believe it's very, very important and critical to this program and the success of this program to bring the Valley kids back, the pride of the Valley to come back here so they can play in front of their family and their friends. And so we've had a lot of kids through this summer. And we've been very fortunate to get some commitments from some kids and feel really, really good about it. And we will continue that because I do feel like that's very, very important for the success and longevity of this program.
When the guys take the field tomorrow, what progress are you hoping to see from the end of spring ball?
Well, to carry over from where we left off, and that's the attention to detail and playing hard and playing fast and the discipline that we need to have. I think the effort, the energy is really important. We worked really hard in spring football to create a standard of running to the football and playing very fast, but playing with a lot of discipline. And so and everything we do, as far as discipline's concerned, there's a carryover to that. I don't care if it's touching the line, putting your foot behind the line, the attention to detail that we need to have, because this is a game of inches, and games ride on that. And so we will make sure to continue that. But I would anticipate that the leadership and the motivation will be one step above where it was in the spring, just because more trust level, more confidence that they have, and they're ready to go. I really do believe they're ready to go. It's been a long, hot summer for them out there practicing. They have invested the time and the energy to do it, and so they're ready. And so I just can't wait to see that they start where we left off in spring and take one step further with it.
Do you have a message for the fans? What can they expect to see? Why should they get behind this program in 2017?
Well, I would just encourage the fans to come out and give us a chance. Put the past behind us. Don't go off the past. Give our kids a chance to prove what we can do. It's what I've been talking about all along, is that we're gonna play fast, we're gonna be disciplined, we're gonna play exciting, we're gonna create turnovers. Our goal is to create turnovers, protect the football. That's the biggest stat in football, is turnover margin, and so we work long and hard on that. Kids who hustle, they play hard every down, and to play disciplined football. It's going to be exciting football. Offensively will be exciting to watch, but I know the effort will be there, play in and play out. Not that that's always going to equal a victory, but to come and enjoy and watch and stand behind and be a part of helping with our success. We know what Bulldog Stadium has been, what it should be, and how intimidating it can be for our opponents coming in here. So I would ask our fans to please help us to come out and create that energy, create that environment for our kids to feed off of, and also make it difficult on our opponents.
Coach, how does this situation compare to the situation you inherited at Cal in that first year when you were able to make a quick turnaround?
Very similar. When you have a program that's only won one game, as it was at Cal, the first two things that you need to make sure that you address are trust level and confidence of the kids. And I think we've really grown with that. I think the kids understand that we care about them in all areas, not just on the football field, but who they are as people, what they're doing in the classroom, their success in the classroom, which I was really pleased this last semester on how they performed in the classroom. So I think that's number one on how you build trust levels, make sure that the kids know that you care about them. And then from there, their confidence on how we practice every day and what they've done. I see a lot of similarities there. Obviously, taking the next step in fall camp right now is going to be huge in that process. But that's the goal, is to make sure that they go into our games prepared and they're confident and they trust the people around them and they're excited about playing.
Preseason rankings aside, Coach, how do you see the Mountain West as a viable entity and playing out this season?
I don't know. Really, I have one thing to focus on. That's our team. Preseason rankings don't mean anything, and I wouldn't care if you were first or whether you're sixth. It doesn't matter, because the only ones that matter are the ones at the end of the year. Can we carry some motivation off being sixth? I think so. I think that's a little chip on your shoulder for that, but still, none of that's going to do anything. It's all about the process and how we prepare, how we execute. Do we play smart? Do we protect the football? Do we get turnovers? Don't get stupid penalties? All those type of things that win football games. So where it ends up at the end of the year is where it's going to end up. But it's a process. It's one day at a time. It's one meeting at a time. It's one drill at a time, one practice at a time, one game at a time. And that's what it's going to be all year. And then when we get to the end, we'll see where we are.
How big is it for you guys to have the bye before the start of conference play and then open conference play at home?
I think it's in a really good spot, So play Incarnate Word, then go to Alabama, go to Washington, and have a bye. At that point, to be able to assess where we are and to get ready and get energized for league play. And so I think it's at a good time, really. And so looking forward to that.
Coach, you had talked obviously about getting players, but you also spent some time recruiting the fans back. How has that gone, and what are the ticket sales like? Do you have any idea of people coming back and getting excited in this program?
Yeah, I've had a chance to talk to a lot of people, but I have no idea where that is. It's not something I've been focusing on. I obviously do feel that it's important to reconnect with the fans and create some energy and bring everybody back. But, I think the best way we can do that is to put a product on the field that they can be proud of, and I just hope they give us the opportunity to do that. I don't know where season tickets stands right now, but we'll find out on game one, and then we'll do our job the best we can to put a product on the field that everybody can be proud of, and then hopefully it continues to grow from there.
For your players, for your coaches, for this program, when you guys are inside this room in a meeting, how do you articulate your goals for this year? There's a lot of goals, right? I mean, there's a lot of things, and I don't know, Paul, if they're necessarily goals. I mean, we have one goal, and
that's to win the Mountain West Championship and win our bowl game, and do it with integrity and with academic excellence. All right, that's our goal. That covers a lot of things. But you'll see a lot of signs around this building. You look at over there, it's unity. You look at accountability, leadership, integrity. Okay, you look at all those things, team and focus, those type of things, the pride and tradition of Bulldog football cannot be entrusted to Team of the Week. A lot of the things, you'll see a lot of new signs around here, where it's team, unit, and me. And that's the order that we have to take this. So there's every single day we will educate these kids on what this program is all about. Every day we will have a speaker that's in here, and it's about life lessons. Let's be real clear about this. Isn't just about winning football games. This is about creating an opportunity for these young men to have a great opportunity and a great experience here at Fresno State, to become men who can go out and be great examples in the community, be very successful. Okay, we will have everyone in here from drug and alcohol counselors to DAs to motivation people, you name it. Our job is to educate these kids to take the next step in life. Okay, so this isn't just about football. It's not just about school. It's about making sure we're there for them to be successful in life.
You spoke a lot about trust, especially with your quarterbacks. How difficult is it for you to never have coached these guys in a real game situation and try to prepare them to be ready, whether it's a quarterback, a new middle linebacker, to play September 2nd and be coached by your coaches when you've never seen them actually play in a game?
The main thing is create those situations every day in practice, and so we treat practice like a game. And we need to practice with a purpose, right? They have to be deliberate practices. Why are we doing this, right? And so we will continually do things to where if we put them in enough situations where it's like a game, the game should be easy at that point. And that's where that trust level comes from, right? I mean, every day to make sure we're doing the things we need to do to have the discipline so that when we do get on the field on game day, that it's easy. There's just a carryover. It's a habit, right? And habit comes from repetition, consistent repetition, and that's what we work to do every single day in practice.
Any final questions for Coach? Not, we'll let Coach go at this time. Thank you.
All right, thank you all. Go Dogs.